Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for our RMIT Postgraduate Month series. My name is Orhan Azizoglu, and I'm the Program Manager for all financial planning degrees here at RMIT, and I'm excited to be presenting to you what's next in financial planning. So let's get started. So before we start, I would like to say Wominjeka, which means welcome in indigenous language. At RMIT, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and we respectfully recognize elders past, present, and emerging. Okay, just a few housekeeping to keep in mind for tonight. This webinar is being recorded and will be sent via email with the slides within 24 hours. And there will be open questions and answers session will be held for 15 minutes at the end of the webinar. And there is a brief survey after the event. We'd like you guys to answer those surveys. That will be great. Next. Okay, so today we're going to talk about our brand new postgraduate degrees that we have just started offering these enrollments for our new students. And with the new educational standards introduced after the Financial Services Royal Commission, now all existing and new financial planners, they're all required to meet FESIA's new education standards. And along with that, RMIT, who's been offering financial planning undergraduate degree for over 30 years now, so we put up new postgraduate degrees, which are all accredited by FESIA. And those three programs designed to not only bring financial planning professionals up to date with their new requirements, but to equip them with valuable real-world experience and industry connections, which is we are proud of at RMIT. I think we are the leaders in that respect. So three programs are graduate certificate in financial planning, graduate diploma in financial planning, and master of financial planning programs. All three programs have been developed in accordance with the new standards set by the FESIA, and we were, I think, the second university who are accredited in new programs in master's degree. Next. So just in relation to what happened with the recent changes, so post-Royal Commission, where it was revealed that there were a lot of misconduct in financial services industry, so there were reforms. The aim was to lift the education, training, and ethical standards of financial advisors, providing personal advice to retail clients. And from 1 January 2019, new advisors, as well as some of the existing advisors as well, must hold a relevant degree before they are eligible to commence their supervision year and sit in the national FESIA exam. So there are now 3 tiers to be able to become a practicing financial advisor. So you first meet the education requirement, you do a degree, and then you need to still do 1 professional year if you are new into the industry. And while you're doing that, halfway through, you are allowed to sit in a national exam, which you need to pass once in your lifetime. And you have to pass it before you can actually start as a practicing financial advisor. So recognizing that many existing advisors will juggle study with their workloads, now they have 2 years. And also considering the COVID, I think there were extensions. So it used to be 1 January 2021, but that's now extended to 1 January 22 to pass the exam. And there are 5 years now, almost 6 years actually, with the new extension due to COVID. Now they have until 1 January 2026 to reach a standard equivalent to a degree. So to meet that degree qualification. Can you go to the next slide? So existing advisors, they have different pathways for example, if they hold a relevant degree, they will be required to undertake up to 4 courses consisting of financial planning regulatory obligations, which is a bridging course, ethics for professional advisors, which is another bridging course, behavioral financial advice, which is another bridging course. So 3 bridging courses, as well as 1 capstone course, which is approved by FESIA. So in our new degrees, we offer applications in financial planning subject or course. That is our capstone unit. And once those new advisors who have a relevant degree, they will be qualified by just doing those 4 subjects. And they can do that under the new graduate diploma in financial planning, or they can still do 8 subjects in graduate diploma, or they can upgrade it to even Master of Financial Planning. However, at the same time, for the existing advisors who doesn't hold a relevant degree, they will be required to complete at least 7 courses towards the FESIA approved graduate diploma. So you will need to upgrade from graduate certificate to graduate diploma and finish at least 7 of the 8 subjects. And those without a degree must complete a FESIA approved graduate diploma and do all 8 subjects. So if you have no degree at all, then you need to do graduate diploma in financial planning, which is 8 subjects, and you can complete that in 12 months. Next. Okay, in relation to how our offering is going to be, so we are offering very flexible learning, and it will be a blended offering where our students will be able to study online, and later on also it'll be allowed to study on campus and get ahead of what's next in financial planning studies. So what are the benefits of studying financial planning online at RMIT? You'll be able to attend classes easily from wherever you are. Obviously, you'll have more control over the time you spend on studying. Remain informed and have access to RMIT's global knowledge, connect with other students and form valuable networks, and you'll still have access to our online virtual industry events, as well as within the courses, we do offer industry leading X-Plan financial planning software skills. So all our students who does that capstone unit learn how to use the X-Plan, which is a huge advantage when you go back to the industry and looking for jobs. Next. Okay, so if we just look at quick course facts, the graduate certificate, as we mentioned, there are 4 units, so you can actually do this in 6 months if you're doing full-time, or you can finish it in 1 year if you're doing part-time. And it's offered in Melbourne City campus, as well as it's available to do online. We have 2 semesters where you can start, with the first one being the February that's coming up in 2021, and then the second offering is July every year, so 2 semesters. In relation to graduate diploma, the full-time, it'll take you 1 year. If you're doing part-time, you can finish it in 2 years. And within the graduate diploma, which I haven't mentioned it yet, but our degrees not only have FESIA approval, it also have received accreditation from Financial Planning Association in Australia, who offers and provides the Certified Financial Planning designation, which is called CFP in short, and that's a global designation, recognized globally if they recognize Australian FPA. So if you do graduate diploma, you will get 3 credits for the 4 or 5 CFP units that you have to do to get the CFP designation. And if you do Master of Financial Planning, normally the full-time duration is 18 months, but if you're from overseas and there are some requirements that you need to do at least 2 years of program for master's degree, then there are 4 more units to finish. That takes you 2 years if you do full-time. And for part-time, you can again finish either 3 years or 4 years, depending on how many subjects you're doing. So you can either do 12 subjects or 16 subjects and receive the Master of Financial Planning degree. And because we have FPA's approval for CFP designation, so you will meet the CFP's education requirement to receive the designation as soon as you have the industry experience that you meet with that. Okay, next page. So how is the course structure? So majority of these units will be offered in both semesters, but in relation to if you are doing Master of Financial Planning and if you're doing for the 16 units, the first stage you take 4 courses that's offered for the School of Business units through the School of Business. And then the financial planning subject starts from stage B. So those who doesn't need to do those first 4 subjects as a requirement to receive a master's degree, then you can immediately start doing the bridging subjects, the first 3 bridging subjects, as well as a business and corporations law subject, or you can take the applications in financial planning units if you require to do just 3 subjects plus the capstone units. Otherwise, if you're doing a graduate diploma, then you will be doing the 4 subjects and the stage C as well. So that's the superannuation and retirement income, taxation law and practice, insurance and estate planning, and finally the capstone unit, which is the applications in financial planning. To upgrade it to master's degree, then you just complete the remaining stage D, which has 1 subject called critical analysis in financial planning. And then you are able to choose electives, 3 elective subjects from the university subjects that's open to all postgraduate elective subjects. In relation to those 3 units, one of them, if you want to get the CFP designation, one of them will need to be completed through FPA's CFP program, and 2 others you are able to just choose from the RMIT, and we will give you credit for that unit. Next slide. Yep. Okay, why study financial planning? So as everybody knows, the financial planning has been growing because we have growing demand for financial advisors due to the fact that all these baby boomers now are coming close to retirement age. So it's a very crucial period when you're actually 45 to 65, 70 years old. This is where you most need the financial advice. That's one reason, but apart from that, if we just look at the projections, financial planners is set to increase by almost 7% by 2024. And the most common average annual salary, even though it varies a lot depending on how you're working, whether you own your business or not, or you're working as a dealer group or independent financial advisor, but in average, financial planner receives about $100,000 to $120,000 income, and there's a constant change in rules around superannuation and taxation and insurances as well. I think there's another Royal Commission going on insurance, so there'll be a lot of changes there as well. So consumers rely heavily on financial planners to guide their decisions around investments, cash flow, and retirement planning. And you'll be surprised how much you can save to your clients once you become an advisor. So there's a huge value of consulting to financial advisors. And add to this, changes brought by increased regulation, evolving technologies, and the new specialist areas such as aged care, self-managed super funds, and even family issues where you're required to consult, again, advisors. It's easy to see why there's a high demand for financial advisors. And if we just look at the Australian financial advice industry, as of February 2019, there were more than 28,500 active authorized representatives, which is called in the industry financial advisors, which is up more than 40% compared to 2009. And however, with the recent education requirements and the national exam and so on, so we are expecting a lot of advisors who are close to their retirement age will leave the industry. And there's also cost of staying as an advisor also have increased, and that will also see a reduction in the active advisors, especially those who doesn't have a degree. So we're expecting that number to reduce to 15,000 initially, but at the same time, the demand for financial advisors is expected to increase. So there will be a huge demand for new advisors who are qualified and accredited with the FESIA's education requirements. Okay. In relation to what differentiates RMIT from other universities, which I have also witnessed since I joined RMIT from Monash, so we are very well connected with the industry, and what you will realize that we have a lot of industry events where we invite guest speakers as well as we organize functions that you do actually meet with the industry representatives. We provide you also opportunity to do internships, and through those functions, many of our students, even at undergraduate level, they actually did receive job offers. And some of the main industry representatives also are our industry advisory board members, such as Financial Planning Australia, Deloitte, KPMG, AMP, and we have alumni graduates from large financial planning firms, as well as a recruitment agency, which is the largest in the financial planning industry, who regularly visits, attends, participates, and sponsors our functions and tries to find our graduates new roles. So that's, I think, the main advantage you'll see with RMIT, how we are connected with the industry. Our location also helps a lot, being right in the CBD. So that's one niche, I guess, that RMIT offers. Apart from that, obviously, RMIT also globally recognized university. We are ranked 8th in Australia for graduate employability and the 55th globally for graduate employment rate. RMIT is ranked number 4 in Australia and 60th globally for our partnerships with employers. And in our double degree for undergraduate financial planning program, along with accounting, I think we have 100% employment within 6 months of graduation. So they are really good numbers. We offer flexible study formats. You'll realize there will be incentives, blended teaching, and online and face-to-face. So you will be able to also continue to work while studying. And there will be some incentives offered through the weekend if you are working through the week, if you are not available through the week. And on top of that, with our new financial planning postgraduate degrees, we offer 15% discount for all FPA members. So if you just become a member, even as a student member, you will be eligible for 15% discounts. Next, please. Some of our industry partners, we just have their logos here, and in one of our recent industry events, which we had to do virtually because of COVID, we had participants from Zurich, FPA, IWF, and Striver. Striver being the authorized recruitment agency for Zurich as well as IWF, and they are the 2 largest firms in the financial planning industry. Next, please. Yeah. So in relation to graduate certificates in financial planning, this is probably going to be popular for those who already have a relevant degree or existing advisor with relevant degree. So obviously those people who might be already advisor, but by completing this, you will meet the FESIA's education standards. And the roles you could get in the advisory environment, you could be working as an associate, advisor, paraplanner, financial planner, superannuation. So there are many more opportunities. Can go to next slide. Similar roles if you complete graduate diploma, because again, you'll be meeting the FESIA's, definitely meeting the FESIA's education requirement. So you'll be able to work as a financial advisor or superannuation, retirement, insurance and taxation planning as a specialist. Next slide, please. And Master of Financial Planning, that's the highest degree you could get, and you'll be able to also achieve CFP designation because we have integrated program along with FESIA. So you'll have both FESIA approved and FP approved degree, and that will obviously give you extra edge with your qualifications by having the highest qualification in the financial planning. So your career opportunities will be a lot better with that respect. Next slide, please. And thanks for listening. I believe we already have some questions. I'll try to go through some of them as the time permits. So the first question was, can these degrees be taken online? Yes, and especially due to the COVID, everybody is doing online at the moment. So we have already adapted to this. You will be able to do online. But when you're enrolling, you're still enrolling as if it's a face-to-face course, but we will offer everything online as well. Another question here, can you explain the difference between graduate certificate, diploma and master's? So that those 3 degrees, obviously, you're getting a different qualification, AQF 7, 8 or 9. But in relation to how it represents your employability in the industry, as I said, if you are existing advisor, you have a relevant degree, then by just doing graduate certificate, you'll be able to meet the FESIA's education requirements. But then you will also be able to upgrade from graduate certificate to diploma by completing another 4 subjects. Graduate diploma is the bare minimum everybody has to do if they want to become an advisor who doesn't have any relevant degrees or they are new to the industry. So you have to either do full undergraduate degree or you just do a graduate diploma in financial planning, and that takes you 1 year, 8 subjects. And the master's is 1.5 years, and that's just give you extra edge in relation to job opportunities, and that's the highest qualification you can do, and that also provides you that CFP designation, which is highly regarded in the industry. So what accreditation we have? Another question, as I mentioned, all our courses are fully FESIA approved. So that means once you complete it, you'll be able to work as advisors, and also our graduate diploma provides 3 CFP program units, credits. So you'll just need to do 1 or 2 more subjects to get a CFP, or if you do master's degree, then you will be able to also get the CFP designation once you meet the industry experience criteria. Are there any discounts for FPA members? Yes, there's 15% discount for FPA members. Whether you member through as an advisor or as a student, we still accept either way. You just need to mention it on your application or enrollment that you do have the membership. Is there a work placement involved with real companies? So in relation to electives, you are allowed to choose work integrated learning subjects where there will be placement opportunities. Otherwise, the capstone unit also have components where you will need to interact with the industry, real companies, which will also obviously promote yourself in the market. And we will also have held a lot of industry events. As I mentioned, this is where RMIT is the market leader, and that's where we have the maximum differentiation compared to others. The industry connections and being able to work in the industry before you graduate. One question mentions what's the difference between financial planner or financial advisor. There's no difference. Some people call it financial planner, some people say financial advisor, but ASIC calls all financial advisors an authorized representative, because all advisors have to be working for a licensee or have to be using a license of a dealer group. And anyone who works under a licensee is called authorized representative. And that's the legal term for financial advisors. Another question, are there any prerequisites? Do we need a certain level of professional experience as a financial planner? No, you don't need to. The normal requirements applied to any new postgraduate degree programs at RMIT. You have the same expectations, but there are no prerequisites that you have to be working in the industry or you have a professional experience. We don't need that. If you have those, obviously you can apply for some exemptions as well. Is all study for this online at the moment, or is there some on campus? So at the moment it will be fully online until we are able to go back to campus, but there will be face-to-face incentives once we are allowed to go back to campus. But even with those, you are able to attend online as well. So I think I went through all the questions so far. Do we have any further questions? Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. Remember, there will be a survey link that we would like you guys to be able to complete that first before you leave. Otherwise, it was great having you all, and all the best with your future endeavors.